What's up, you guys? It's PhiDX. We just finished watching Evo France, where they debuted the gameplay trailer for Miary. I'll share with you the clip of my initial reaction on stream, and then we'll go through and analyze her moves like frame by frame or like at half speed. Because she draws some inspiration from Ogre, I also show some gameplay from Ogre in Tekken Tag 2, seeing where her inspiration comes from as the fighting god reborn. And then we read a dev article at the end that goes into a bit more detail of how they drew cultural influence from Madagascar in designing this character. It's going to be a good one. Hope you enjoy the video.
Okay, everyone.
All right, that's enough talking from us. Let's hit.
I agree. That is enough talking. I want to see it. Oh my goodness. My eyes are peeled. My eyes are peeled. There's so much to be said about this new trailer. Allegedly. I mean, you know, people have rumored like she's gonna have a lot of stances. She's gonna have no stances. Who knows?
Miary's born with crimson eyes, as foretold by her renowned fortune teller grandmother, developed a deep fascination with wildlife.
Okay, well now I'm in the way, so that's annoying.
Mimicking their movements, including during their clashes with foes for survival, she naturally became interested in martial arts and quickly advanced at an astonishing pace. Before long, news of her spread, and skilled martial artists from all over sought to test their skills against her.
Get ready for the next battle. Section 8.
It looks great. BFF, battle friends forever, is what she said. What? She copied Panda's stance? Yo! This cannot be reality, bro. This cannot...
Petite pause, on va relancer le trailer. Little technical break, I apologize. Trailer about to restart.
God is tormented. What is this? What is this, dude? Just... Heck, in Madagascar is a cool shirt.
Virtual apologies.
Yo, this cannot be real, bro.
Of course.
This cannot be reality. You gotta feel for these guys. Okay. I was like, you gotta feel for these guys. What could they two up there do? But they have to be the front-facing people when that happens because of some dudes backstage who couldn't put up a video. Like, being the front-facing person is rough. Anyways, now I get to retake this reaction because I was in the wrong spot.
Born with crimson eyes, as foretold by her renowned fortune teller grandmother, developed a deep fascination with wildlife, mimicking their movements, including during their clashes with foes for survival. She naturally became interested in martial arts. And
Why'd they zoom in on her rear? Why did they do that?
News of her spread, and skilled martial artists from all over sought to test their skills against her.
It was her bracelet? Sure.
Get ready for the next battle.
Fighting God Reborn? Okay. A lot of rumors about Ogre because of her markings and her red eyes. Okay, she's got the same panda stance. She went under the highs. 1-1-2 into stance, or 1-1-2-2. Power crush with a blue hand. High evasion, counter hit launch. Overhead, okay, a little while standing too. She's getting up there. You see like how high she jumps? She can stick to the walls with the back foot. Even off of... Wait, that's a cool outfit. That's a really cool outfit. She's standing on a spear. A magical spear. Oh my goodness. I wonder if she uses it to attack. Okay, homing heat engage. She uses it in her heat smash. That's a cool heat smash. That alt outfit is cool. Yeah, okay, we thought so. Ogre and true ogre. Tell you of the power of fighting God. Oh. Oh my goodness, she has the snake arm from True Ogre. Wow, oh my goodness. DF112, I assume. That is an insane wall ender. Wow. I told you they were zooming in suspiciously. That wasn't even me. I didn't even make that up. Oh my goodness. Strong aerial tailspin, homing mid. One, two, heat dash out of a stance. So she has a spear stance. She's... Whoa. That's cool. They got Madagascar in the bottom. Oh my god. The loser stands to gain the most. So in a way, you're the winner. Wow. That would make me feel terrible. It's pretty cool. Of all the like domain expansion rage arts, having actual Madagascar in it is pretty cool. Pointing at a chameleon is bad luck. That's pretty cool. This song is sick too. I don't know how to say the stage name, so I'm not gonna try. Baobab Horizon. I tried anyways. All right, so the first watch through of the trailer was pretty jarring and alarming. I want to watch it again in slow motion and kind of break it down bit by bit. I don't have the most knowledge on Ogre's moves in Tekken Tag 2 and Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag. But it's clear that there was Ogre inspiration, not just from the literal flashbacks, but from the fact that, you know, she's using snake arm moves. I'll pull up some old Ogre footage that we can watch after, but let's look at the trailer first. The music is cool, though. I want to hear this again.
Get ready for the next battle. Tekken 8. New challenger. Miary.
Cool song. All right. So I wonder if this is a stance or just her idle animation. Right away, we have what? This? That could just be her idle animation. It could be her crouch. But I'm going to put it at half speed and let's take a look. All right. So she has the same jump forward as Panda. And then she does this evasive move. So is that a command duck? Or is that just a raw duck? She does a throw out of it. Okay. Just a generic one throw, I think. All right, jab punish into that crouching stance. So maybe it's a stance, right? It looks like she goes into stance. So they're showing she has an evasive stance. And one of the moves out of this evasive stance is a knockdown mid that flips over. Okay. Is a blue hand that looks like it has plus frames. And then she goes into the stance. And this is a tracking mid after. So not that move, but here. Tracking mid, track sidestep right because of the white trails, and then power crush. So it's a safe mid. Jumping kick, another high evading button into counter hit launcher. Was that from stance? So this low, she goes into crouch. I don't know if she's in her stance here. Maybe she is and you barely see it. But a little overhead kick into a combo. That's the stance button again, and it's a tornado. Okay, the panda move again. Plus frames. How did Horong retaliate? Let's take a look. He did down 3. So pretty slow button. But either way, she's plus enough to trap him. That is a crazy hitbox. She did a pelvic belly bump mid-air. Okay. Step on the feet. What does she do in response? Backflip. So I think that's a command backflip. Maybe with up, back. Sticks to the wall. Dive kick off the wall. That reversal breaks. So you guys see the little sparks there? Lily does a power crush and it powers through that. So more reversal breaks. Okay, one throw. Even on throw break, she clings to the wall. And she has a high evading move out of here. So out of this, what does she do? She transitions to her crouching stance out of the wall cling. So stance into stance into low evading mid knockdown. This costume is cool. I do think this costume is cool. I don't know anything about this spear. Maybe somebody from Madagascar could tell me if it's like culturally relevant. I do think the costume is really cool though. Okay, so this stance goes over lows and has a low into mid. I assume that's just a natural combo. So this is like an orbital. She jumps on the pole and it's a launcher. Again, visually pretty cool. Like, if the pole isn't being used in an attack, I don't think there's much to hate on. It's just like a visual thing, right? Now, the fact that the stance automatically evades lows is what seems crazy, right? So, how does she get into stance here? Let's look at this. How does she get into the stance? She does running 3 plus frames, little frame trap into wall splat. 3, 1, 2. Okay. Plus frames into the stance. Okay, so she has this manual crouch. All right. So let's look. Let's look at this again. Okay. Down forward 1 is blocked. She goes into the manual crouch stance. She does a plus frame mid into the pole stance into a homing mid heat engage. And this is her heat smash. Heat smash is cool. I enjoy the visuals. But the actual moves are a bit concerning to me. I'm curious how her actual gameplay will like flow. You know what I'm saying? So now here they show the snakes. They're alluding to Ancient Ogre and True Ogre. Ogre, if you don't know, was like the god of fighting, I think. Like he beats fighters and takes their powers. So what it is a lot of characters disappeared from Tekken 2 to Tekken 3. And True Ogre had a lot of their moves. So like Bake, he had Anna's low sweep in Tekken Tag 2. And there's a snake arm. Okay. So here, oh boy. So looks like a mid punch into the snake arm. And when June challenges, she has a punch sabaki, a punch parry. And she has like a little mini horn that she's swinging with. She has the tail. Grabs the power crush after. Dive kick with the snake arm. That's just a throw animation, right? Down forward 1-1 horn. I will say the horn looks a little goofy. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so this is a key detail. Look at this angle. June is... this is like a side launching wall splat, right? Like it changes the trajectory of the combo. So like she's parallel to the wall during the combo and this move launches her towards the wall. So she can angle her wall splat. I do think this punch animation looks very odd. At full speed, it looks very weird. So 1-2-2, I assume. Side angle. The idea of the wall ender is interesting to me. I feel very little impact from those animations. They feel like NRS animations. I'm gonna keep it real. They look like NRS animations to me. But okay. Looks like a Roger move. That's a good callback. I think it's cool that she has the animal style. I do think that's cool. I just think the particular implementation of that animation looks a little strange to me. You know, even if she's replicating lemur, we're not structured like lemurs. Oh, that's why they zoomed in. They were not zooming in on her feet her rear and her chest. They were zooming in on the markings on her legs and on her back and on her face. Clever, Namco. I did not realize that that's what you were doing. Okay, she can backflip into the pole stance. Again, more animal moves. She eats a 1-3, blocks the low. That looks like just a while standing punish. Okay. Strong, or not. I thought it was a strong aerial tailspin. This is just a regular combo ender. Okay, blocking the Zafina install. Forward 2. Okay. Oh, this is heat dash, but what is this out of? This is the crouch stance again. 1, 2, heat dash. Oh, not a strong aerial tailspin, surprisingly. Little refloat into pole, into tornado. 2-1 wall carry, forward 2-1 maybe. And then the rage art. All right, we can watch the rage art full speed. I do think it's cool that Madagascar is shown beneath. I don't like the domain expansion rage arts, but that one is cool. This character is about to make me really bad. So I'll read the dev article in a little bit, but let me show you some throwback footage. This is Knee on Team Cafe Id against Adark Bronson Tran. Bronson Tran is playing True Ogre. Right? So already you'll notice True Ogre had Jin's while standing 1-2. Swaps to Jinpachi, so I'll fast forward a little bit. Alright, back to Ogre. Forward 3, right? He had Paul's 3-2. He had an aerial float, so he could tech out of the air. He could combo break. Now, if you called it out, you could refloat him, but it forced you to be aware between your combos. This character was nasty, and he was so big that it was hard to see which arms he was throwing with. Alright, I'm going to skip the Jinpachi, although Knee just cooked with a Bruce back 2. Alright, move it forward. More Ogre. You see the snake arm on the right? That was a Kazuya while standing 2. From here, duck, while standing 2. Because it had so much range and it was so hard to whip punish from that far. This character was cheap. Yeah, and remember Miary Su has the horn move? It's different, but Ogre's doing that there, right? So, very clearly inspired by this character that has not been in Tekken in a very long time. Literally Tekken 3 and then Tekken Tag 2. So we're going to go back forward until Ogre comes back. There's the one throw, breathing fire. The throw breaks were faster in this game. And again, True Ogres were like truly ambiguous. Jab, float, try to throw him again. Try to 1+2 throw him. Paul's 3-2.
I don't know what Bronson was going for there, but he wants that pressure at the wall.
Okay, and Knee ducks the throw. And yeah, Knee's rocking Devil Jin and Bruce. So this is just an idea. They're clearly taking inspiration from the snake arms, but it looked like Miary Su's moves were largely different because Ogre's moves... Oh, Kazuya while standing 2. Ogre's moves were taken from the other Tekken characters, right? And he had some original moves, but as far as I saw in the trailer, and somebody can correct me if they know more about Ancient Ogre, but it seemed like the snake arm was really the main thing there, right? He had Wang's Waning Moon. You guys know Xiao Yu has that now. And if you're having trouble seeing what he's doing on the screen, that wasn't just you. He was kind of that guy. Anyways, you can look up more of this footage if you like. Now I want to check out the dev article. At the venue of EVO France 2025, the gameplay trailer for Miary Su, the 4th additional character of Season 2, was revealed. We asked the director about the highlights and key points of the trailer. It also introduces Miary Su's fighting style and elements that may connect to past titles, so be sure to read through to the end. Please tell us about Miary Su's fighting style and signature moves. Miary Su is created with the keyword Fighting God Reborn and characterized as curious and cheerful. Her fighting style doesn't fit into a single mold. Instead, she battles with boundless energy. In addition to incorporating Morengi, I don't know how to say it. Somebody can help me. A traditional martial art of Madagascar, along with authentic strikes unique to African fighting techniques, she also uses charming attacks that mimic the movements of ring-tailed lemurs. In addition, she can attack using a spear summoned through the power of the fighting god, as well as moves reminiscent of Ogre from past titles, such as strikes and snakes, a tail, and horns. Right, so that's what I was saying. It looks like she's using the body parts of Ogre, but I didn't see a lot of Ogre moves or like other Tekken character moves, right? With such a wide variety of offensive options, she excels at keeping opponents from focusing on her tactics, skillfully switching between them and then launching a decisive assault when the moment is right. She also boasts exceptional physical ability and agile movements with the capability to perform actions using the stage walls. This allows players to fully experience the unique excitement of a 3D fighting game, taking advantage of terrain and positioning in battle. And what kinds of movements is her identity as a character from Madagascar expressed? Some of Miary's actions pay homage to African martial arts. For example, her main stance action, Morengi Miroso, features a sweeping motion across the ground, representing the ritual performed before a Morengi match. Another move, Ansi Afo, has her summon a snake, wrap it around her right arm, and throw a punch. An homage to Dambe, a Nigerian martial art in which fighters wrap cloth or robe around their fist before a match. That's cool. I like, gameplay aside, the way that Tekken pays homage to culturally relevant like things, ceremonies, rituals, techniques is always going to be cool to me. Like, it's always so sick. From the footage, we also sense a connection to Ogre, the fighting god from past titles. Miary can use attacks similar to those once employed by Ogre, such as extending multiple snakes from her right hand, striking with the tail, and swinging upward with the horn. However, I noticed that too. However, the power of the fighting god dwelling within her originates from a different deity than that Ogre. This fighting god is characterized by a tail resembling that of a ring-tailed lemur and a single horn instead of the double horn, right? That's what we see here. So she has fighting god power, but it's a different fighting god. However, the fighting god is unleashed to its fullest in her rage art, beginning with a stance that combines the Ouroboros ring and the number 8 of Tekken 8. She summons a giant serpent. Miary then dashes up the serpent's body, launching a massive spinning uppercut with her spear. Okay, description. Follows with acrobatic sequences such as grabbing the opponent with a serpent and hurling them away. The finishing explosion is inspired by the Traveler's Palm, a plant native to Madagascar that resembles a banana tree. Bighorn. Wings. Spear. Bagoosh. An explosion inspired by the Traveler's Palm. See, I would not have picked up on that if they didn't tell me. I think that's cool. What aspects of Miary are enhanced during heat? During heat, she can unleash the power of the fighting god within her even more strongly. Visually, her normally crimson eyes turn blue and divine patterns from the fighting god appear across her body. I told you, they were not just zooming in on her chest, they were showing the patterns. It was crazy how they decided to do it. Her actions also undergo transformations unique to the fighting god. These include enhanced snake extension attacks, new horn-based follow-ups, and even techniques that incorporate wings and flames. She also wields moves reminiscent of Ogre from past titles, such as unleashing flames onto her opponent from midair. What stands out is her ability to overwhelm foes with even flashier and more powerful techniques. Could you tell us about the design of her default costume 1? The design was developed to clearly and attractively convey Miary's concept of being cheerful and full of vitality through her costume. Another key point that the design incorporates many elements of her background, particularly her connection with the Ogre of Madagascar. So it's confirmed there's different ogres for different countries, or different regions. I think continents, maybe? To embody the keyword Fighting God Reborn, the large ring-shaped accessories on her arms and legs incorporate elements from Ogre of past titles. Her earrings and top are adorned with jacaranda flowers, an iconic plant of Madagascar, while her spear is designed to resemble entwining baobab trees. Concept art. Designed by the Tekken Project. The glossy and striking design of her default costume 3 is impressive. What was the process behind its creation? Costume 3 was designed by Mari Shimazaki. In addition to Mari's keywords and backstory, we also shared with her insights gathered by the development team during their visit to Madagascar, which helped expand and enrich the design concept. The result is a design very characteristic of Miss Shimazaki, stylish as modern clothing while still distinctive as a costume. Subtle details such as the outfit's ornaments, earrings, and the shaved section on the back of her head also showcase a refined sense of style, making it a truly captivating design. The combination of a green base with red accents was inspired the flag of Madagascar. As for the color scheme, a wide inner layer was incorporated early in the design to make Miary's brown skin stand out beautifully. This is cool. This design is really cool. I think it's pretty sick. Alongside Miary, the stage Baobab Horizon will be implemented. What are its defining features? In creating the stage, we researched Madagascar's natural environment, daily life, and culture. Based on these findings, the stage was designed around a central Baobab tree, with a grand and open atmosphere as its foundation. Elements unique to Madagascar, such as brick houses, rice field landscapes, and ox carts, were also incorporated into the scenery. This stage features both daytime and evening settings. The daytime gives off a bright and heartwarming impression, while the evening offers the beauty of a sunset combined with the mystery of ancient ruins. We hope players will enjoy experiencing the contrast between the two. I think the stage. Another charm of the stage is its lively atmosphere brought to life in part by the background music. In Madagascar, there's a popular music genre called salegi, characterized by its unique brightness and the hypnotic effect of repetition. The BGM for the stage draws inspiration from the rhythm and mood of Salagi while being arranged into an upbeat and exhilarating Tekken-style battle track. If I say any of these wrong, by the way, let me know in the comments. Please. I'd like to be corrected. In the climax version of the BGM, there's a special touch that highlights her connection to Ogre. The phrase from Ogre's theme in Tekken 3 comes prominently to the forefront. Incidentally, I want to hear that. That would be sick. Like, I want to listen to it side by side when she's out. Incidentally, music is also an important element in local Merengue fighting events. It is played during a fighter's entrance to pump them up and to symbolize the channeling of a powerful spirit. December 1st, 2025, early access. December 4th, regular access. All right. There's also behind the scenes comments from the director on other characters now, which will be later video. All right. That's it about Miary Sue. That covers about everything. Gameplay wise, not sure if I'm excited, but visually, I do think she was created with a lot of attention to detail, a lot of care, and even with how crazy the game is with all the controversy around Tekken, from the balance to the monetization or whatever, I will always appreciate the way that they pay respect to different cultures around the world. Like, it's clear that they care about it. They go to the region, they talk to the people, and they spend a lot of energy and craft these characters really well. So I hope eventually the gameplay can reach a point where it stops honestly like aggravating people so much, because there's a lot of care going into the creative side of the game that is, in my mind, being held back by like the battle design part, right? These guys are really passionate about what they do, and you can see it in the effort they put into it. So I hope that those two can like come into alignment. You know what I mean? I almost forgot. We didn't check out her costume presets. Costume 2, Costume 3. Costume 4 looks cool. They barely show it. I want to see more of the costumes. Let's be clear. Jeez. But yeah, the developers, also, you're not slick. I know what you were doing. I still can't believe that this is how she goes into heat. And they're showing the markings on her body. Game recognizes game, okay? I know what they were doing. Anyways, that's all I have for you today.